Welcome back to another episode. Green Journal Entries. Subscribe. Check me out. I'm doing some big things over here. And got a lot more to go. Today I want to make a video on Compost Tea. This will be my first time actually using Compost Tea. But I've seen the results. I've seen the results from some of the other YouTubers that I followed. Mainly only one, and just by common sense and practice, it seems to be a very good thing to do. We all know that compost is very rich in nutrients, and I don't have my own compost pile. That is something that I did start. I'm looking at it right now. That's why I looked off it like that. I said, yeah, there it is over there. But I did start it at one point in time. But as I mentioned before in a lot of my other videos, I live in Central Texas. The temperature here some days gets up to 104, and that's in the shade. I have a weather station here at my house. Saying all of that, I tried to start a compost pile, and as you already know, a compost pile needs to kind of stay moist. But when you have temperatures peaking up into the hundreds, the lower hundreds, upper to mid 104 degrees, some days, that wicks up any moisture that is available, and it is just dry, bone dry. And so it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of water, and it takes a lot out of me to continue a compost pile. I know there's other other ways to do composting, like the tumblers. There are I could put a tarp over it, for example. Bottom line is, it is way too dry. So my best alternative is to actually go and buy bagged compost, and that's exactly what I did. So I'm going to show you how to prepare compost tea. It is completely it's easy, super easy. It doesn't take a lot of work. You will make compost tea very easily with a bag. Not saying that you shouldn't go out and compost. I believe composting is great. That's a great thing to do. But here where I live, it's just not so good to do during the heat of the summer. Mainly May, June, July, August, and September are really the months where composting just doesn't work for Central Texans. Saying all that again, let me show you my compost pile that was to be, and then we'll just jump right into the video on composting, or the compost tea, excuse me. Hot. So here it is. This was some old mulch, dirt that I had. It was actually a lot bigger, but I guess the rain that we had recently kind of washed some of it away. As you can see, the white pieces in here was some of the paper from my shredder. Now I know that composting, if you wanted to break down better, faster, and get more of the nutrients out of it, the finer the better. I'm not going to go out and buy a brand new shredder just to get finer pieces of paper shreds. So no, I wasn't going to do that, because this was something that at the time I was researching, I was motivated, I wanted to do it, and I had this big clay pot here, and I had it covered like that to keep some of the moisture in. But this is a clay pot, and the bottom line is, it just did not work for me. It just didn't work for me. So that was my compost pile. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It just looks like a pile of dirt and some old grass clippings and whatever. So RIP compost pile. Moving along. To make the compost tea, you get you about, if you can see in there, I have maybe 2.5 to 3 handfuls of compost. To let's see here, about 2 inches to cover up the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket. And then this little doohickey over here, let me show you. I just got things going everywhere. Let me show you something cool. This is my little mister here. Check it out. So when it's hot, right now I have a water valve down there. When it's hot, I get to go ahead and mist this area, mist the plants, mist my face, whatever. So check it out. Let me turn it on. All right, is it on? There we go. And see, and that mists the plants, and it actually does a pretty good job of misting. Real heavy mist. I got it at Lowe's for $12. It was just $12. I know that some people are like, $12, that's a lot, man, you know. But I like it. It's like a little mister. Cool little gadget, right? Anyway, go ahead and turn this off here. Here's the other little gadget I bought. You can get these anywhere too. So my water valve for the hose is on the other side of that fence, and I have to walk out, go around, open the gate, turn the valve off anytime I want to change out a connection. I went to Walmart and I bought this little deal right here, this little valve here, and I believe it's open, so I'm gonna close it. That way, can I do this with one hand? Can I do this with one hand? I can't. And this way I can take this off here. And you see that? I can take that off without having to go all the way around, turn the water off. I got a little valve there. Really cool. I think it was like 87 cents. And it's the metal one. I do not mess with the plastic ones. If you like this, go ahead and get you the metal one with the ball valve. Don't get that plastic crap. And then here's my other. So now I can change spigots out and put my other water spigot on here. Also metal, brass. Turn it on. I gotta work on that. I don't know why it's leaking. Here, let's see here. I believe it's there. We go. Okay. Now you take. We got our bucket. Take you some water, and you just fill the bottle. Just fill it up. And I'm going to let it fill up the whole 5 gallons because I got a couple plants I can water with this compost tea. So I've got my bucket filled up, just about 5 gallons. Okay, and what I'm going to let that do, I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then I will water my plants tomorrow. You want to let it sit because it's like letting the compost marinate with that water, and you want them to marry together. So it's, you know, they call it steeping. You want the nutrients to come out of the compost, and they're going to seep out into the water, and that's why we let it sit. Let it sit overnight, let it sit 24 hours. Also, another good reason for me to let it sit, because here in Central Texas we have hard water, and it's very rich in minerals. Also in like chlorine and other things that aren't naturally found in water. And with letting that water sit, it can percolate, and those gas bubbles can make its way to the top and escape. And it's not you're not feeding your plants chlorinated water. That's why some of my plants are doing a lot better, because I usually have this little 1 gallon container here, and I let that sit overnight. So then it just becomes a just plain old water. And that's how you make compost tea. Really, it's very simple, very easy. I could have explained it to you, but then there ain't no fun in that. Showing you, that's the whole purpose of YouTube, is to show you, because you want to watch it, right? Of course. If you wanted to know how to do it any other way, you would read it. Swinging this, snips around. Take your compost, whether you get it from your pile, your neighbor's pile, the nursery, out of a bag. Take your compost, 3 handfuls in a bucket, and add water. Let it sit overnight. Stir it up the next day. Feed your plants. Feed your plants that every time, and they will grow. Because when we water them just with water, we're really just washing away what's in the soil. We're not replenishing. We're not building the soil up. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you're always watering with nutrients. Make sure there's something in the water, whether it be a light fertilizer, something real light. We don't need 10-10-10 or 12-12-12. You can do a 1-1-1 fertilizer, as long as there's something in the water to kind of put back. Because just plain old water does good for some plants, not all plants. I'm not saying that's for every plant, but most of the time, just water just washes away what's in the soil. Thanks for watching. I have more videos coming out. I say this every video. I have more videos coming out. Stay tuned. If you like me, you can leave your number or something. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Subscribe though. I'm pretty funny. I'm a pretty funny guy. Subscribe. Leave me a comment. I want to know what you guys think. I like the comments. You could say something to me, and I'd be like, hey, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh, okay. Let me tell you what I think. Leave a comment. And thank you for tuning in to the Green Journal Entries. I apologize if it's dark and you can't see me, if the sun's behind me. It's a little awkward right now, I know, but it's always going to get better. Hey, let's grow together. Peace out. I'm done. I'm finished.